you have no idea what we have in store for you guys, what we're planning. We got a plan, guys. There is a very specific plan, and things are being released little by little. But we can't wait to just show you everything. When we sat down months ago and drew it out and created this model, I can't wait for you guys to see it in fruition. So I'm going to hand it over to this gentleman right here, Mr. Ken Porter, who is not only our CEO, who is not only an amazing husband to Carol and father to 7 amazing children, and I can go on and on about him, my best friend, like without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, truly. But this gentleman here, guys, had the vision to begin something by continuing something that he had the courage and love not to turn his back on. And that's really the beginnings of Savvi. That's the beginnings of our story. So we wouldn't be where we are today without you, Ken. So I'm going to be
I just kind of speak, stuff comes out, and I'm always surprised after as well. So we'll see. I will tell you something super exciting about this. When the Savvi story didn't start with Savvi, you know that, right? It started with an earlier beginning. And I'm a real believer that the greatest things come from people who finish what they start. And life is an amazing journey that really is all about seeing past the rocks and the bumps and the stones and the naysayers and all the junk in our own heads and all of those things, seeing past that and having a vision of the future. And my life experience has been such that I've been very fortunate because I've been able to start at something. 2 different companies that Matt said, and by the way, Matt Morrow is a more talented human being than me by far. Sometimes life is an interesting place because I joined 2 early stage companies, worked really hard, and they grow big. Matt joined some companies, and he grew them big, but other people tanked them. The most important thing, I will tell you, I have come to find, I'm going to tell you one story first, that's kind of been a guiding principle in my life. And I diverge here, but I hope you all a little bit patient. This is my story. Years and years ago, I had a gentleman come to me that I barely even knew, and come to me pitching a big opportunity, right? He's like 20 years older than me. I was very easily influenceable because I was in my 20s. He was in his 40s. He drove a Jag. I drove like a Pinto or something. It's pretty easy to influence me. I'm going, this car's nice, I'm going to listen. And so I meet this guy. That's really all I know. And we worked on a business plan together. Come to find out, the only reason he really came to me is because he knew I knew the wealthiest guy in the state, a guy named John Huntsman in Utah. And so finally the day comes that he wanted me to go pitch John Huntsman for money. And I am like shaking, man. That guy's like the tallest building in the state. His ceilings are very tall. I'm walking across that desk and not like the football field away, I'm shaking. And I get there and I sit down with him and I open up my business plan. And by the way, it's like 100 pages or something. And he's this busy executive billionaire guy. And I'm sitting there opening on like page 3. And he reaches across and he closes the book. And he closes the book and he looks at it and he starts rapid firing questions to me over and over and over. All of the questions he asked about who sent me here, who is the person that sent you here. And he asked me, what does he do under pressure? What's he done in his life? How does he treat people? How does he, it just goes on and on. And literally, I knew none of the answers. I didn't even hardly know the guy on that. I was excited about the product. And when he was done, he says, Ken, I'm going to give you another opportunity to come back and visit me. But the next time he comes to me, don't come talk about a product. You come in my office, you tell me about an amazing human being. Because you show me an amazing human being, somebody that powers his way through every obstacle, somebody that finishes what they start, somebody that's fully optimistic and doesn't let little things get them down. So I'll invest my fortune in that guy every single time. And that's what he does. And so, I walked out of that office and I thought, that was the stupidest thing I ever heard. It just seemed like I didn't get the money, it was dumb. The guy gave me counsel that was no good to me and I left and went home. Well, like 10 years later, working with people, I joined companies on a whim. Tell me about the product, tell me about this, tell me this. And every time I was disappointed because the owners didn't have the courage or the strength to power through things. So to me, the lessons I learned through that and the commitment that we have to you is that we will finish what we start. There will be bumps in the middle, there will be things come and things go. We'll have Fashion Fridays.
when you guys are there, every time somebody walks by that table, I'm expecting the whole thing to come on. I look at this, like, you realize Fashion Fridays are like going through like on a hair's gnat of like working, right? But we're gonna laugh at that, right? We're gonna have a big production studio somewhere, right? Actually, you guys have seats just so that in a studio audience. I envision all the things we're gonna do. I just want to let you know one thing. The team you have, we finish. And it's one of our first guiding principles. You finish what you start. Nothing stops you. And so we're heading into a plan that we've got clearly cut out. We already know the end game. And we're just excited to execute. And we're more excited to have people believe in us. And I will say that means freaking everything to us. You know, the story of where we came from is the reason we did that. Really fast, take 2 more minutes. You guys, I'm a storyteller, you don't mind me. You know, when Kurt and I, quite a while ago, made an investment in a person that basically come to us and said, hey, I'll build the company if you guys invest in the company. Kurt and I were busy, we weren't doing, we had other projects, and we basically pulled our checkbooks out and started writing checks. And as soon as we started writing checks, that person didn't contact us anymore. It disappeared as soon as he had the money he needed. So we had very little contact with this business, didn't really understand the nuances, the dynamics of it. And I was a little frustrated because you're supposed to get some communication back to your shareholders. That little company starts out as a honey and lace, which is basically just a small clothing brand. They renamed it 50. 50 went forward. This person ran the company, they ran the company. And one day I'm sitting on my computer and I thought, I'm gonna look that company up because I haven't talked to them forever. So I looked it up and wow, there's a nice video on the front page. And so essentially what happens, I text the guy back expecting no response. I said, hey, nice video. And he said, 2 days later, text back, too little, too late. And I'm like, too little, too late? That doesn't sound very optimistic. What does that mean? So I called Kurt up and basically say, Kurt, let me tell you what's going on. So essentially we decided, I'm gonna just walk in the company office and basically have an office. So I did, I met people running it, and they started telling me about it, and I said, hey, you know what, I am not gonna quit. Let's go finish what we started, right? We'll step in and help you. And essentially what happened is 10 minutes later, he walked out the door and says, I'm tired, here's the keys, and here's my stock back, good luck. And I'm like, do you understand? So I had to walk around the office and basically introduce myself to some people I didn't know. And Rachel was there, Russ was there. I don't think there's anybody else left. Rachel and Russ was there. There's actually a couple of people here that were from there that are here today. There you are. So what happened? We stepped in that day. I'm just telling you straight up, sometimes the roughest starts are the most beautiful stories, right? So we stepped in that day and I go up to Russ' office and says, hey Russ, tell me about this company, tell me how they're doing, what do they do? And most importantly, tell me how the financials are doing. He says, well, we got like $800 in the bank and payroll's $85,000. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but it was really quick. 48 hours, so I called Kurt and I said, Kurt, you ready to write a check? And he says, well, the company looks like it's not going to make it. Right. But if we don't write a check, we won't be able to find out about it in 3 days. We need to know enough.
Hell of a glitch.
Right? And to learn that, it takes months to understand about a company you know nothing about. Step in and do that. So we started writing checks. And then shortly after that, I was in Bora Bora with my beautiful wife, Carol. And we didn't leave our over-the-water hut because I did Zoom calls every single day, all day long, with the gals that were with that other company. Trying to understand the situation. At the end, what happened, I got back to Salt Lake and I said, you know what? There's people counting on this to succeed. There's people like Sarah, whose family, they've given their all. They're depending on this company to succeed. I called Kurt and I said, Kurt, if we walk away from this, a lot of people are going to get hurt. And it doesn't take much for a phone call for me to start, crying with you guys and loving you guys. So I called Kurt, and Kurt says, well, shareholders get hurt, the reps will get hurt. I guess we have no choice. let's jump in this thing. So we jumped in, looked at it, looked at the business model, says there is no way in this green earth that's gonna succeed. So essentially it says we started a brand new company. One of the first things we did is we started that brand new company, Rach, and Russ was there. Kurt and I started thinking, okay, we're gonna start putting a business plan together. And one day I ran into like the super guru. And we sat down and we co-created a brand new business plan to take that company a complete different direction. Renamed it, changed the direction. With Rachel, you gotta shift directions on what we're bringing to the company. She did her part, as you know. Superstar, we all just teamed up, recreated a whole new company. And by the way, most of us don't know the rest of the strategy that we've got laid out. If this, you're seeing early stage stuff that we're pretty excited about, but we're really excited about where we're going. And put together a new business plan and basically launched, you know, and I will tell you something, from the time we launched, that old company's mess has been all cleaned up. There was no remaining mess. When we stepped in there, they owed everybody money. There was people suing them, there was reps angry. I mean, you know, we've got a list of how many things, Kurt, that had to be overcome. 21 things that we had to overcome with the old before you could even start on the new. And those things are all cleaned up. We're a financially healthy company. We are, and we're just a beautiful beginning stage right now. And so I have to give credit. Yes, we worked hard. Forget that. I want to give credit right here. Because, you know, you guys and you believed it before it was obvious. And to me, the mark of a leader, I will tell you the mark of a leader, you can always tell when you see them, because you know why? They see past today. Vision is the primary hallmark of a leader. They never get stumped by what's in front of them, because they can see past it. And when you talk to people and you lead other people, you're always selling forward. Whatever you are today, you're selling it forward, selling it forward, selling it forward. Because people are coming here because they see a grand vision, right? It's fun, the clothes are beautiful, and they see a grand vision. So I just want to thank each one of you for, you know, being able to take, you know, the bumps, the bruises, all the things that come up pioneering, and just like chuck those behind and laugh them off, you know? We don't laugh them off, we go to work crazy, but they don't distract us even 1 second. Because we see so far past any of those things. We're building the next and building the next and building the next. So we got a beautiful brand. I've never seen a direct selling company like ours so far. And we're gonna continue to become more unique in our industry and more attractive and more beautiful and more strong. And you guys are all gonna benefit greatly because the pioneers, I'm telling you, when Matt was talking about it, I had the opportunity to be a part of 2 early stage companies.